The Great Gatsby Adaptation Comparison PDF states, from Baz Luhrman comes the new big screen adaptation of F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel The Great Gatsby, weaving a jazz-age cocktail faithful to Fitzgerald's text. The Great Gatsby is a comparative study of F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel The Great Gatsby and the film adaptations of 1974 and 2013 PDF written by Oscar Clevin in 2013. Questions. Do the novel's complexities remain in the film, or are they lost in the adaptation progress? What aspects of The Great Gatsby are in focus? During this video, while taking reference from the two PDF comparison sources of The Great Gatsby adaptations, I will be discussing whether Baz Luhrman's film adaptation of F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby does the original novel justice, while focusing on significant symbolism, settings, characterization through the two texts, and the effectiveness of The Great Gatsby in director Baz Luhrman's film adaptation. Nick Carraway. F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby is narrated by Nick Carraway, Daisy Buchanan's cousin, Tom Buchanan's old college friend, and Jay Gatsby's closest friend and admirer. Nick admires Gatsby for his never-ending hope and ambition. Both Fitzgerald's novel and Luhrman's film adaptation discuss Nick's admiration for Gatsby, including the same descriptive line in both texts. He had one of those rare smiles with a quality of eternal reassurance in it that you may come upon 4 or 5 times in your life. It understood you just as you wanted to be understood, believed in you as you just wanted to believe in yourself. This quote from the original novel is integrated in Luhrman's The Great Gatsby, describes Nick Carraway's understanding and bewilderment on how Jay Gatsby could hold so much imagination and hope represented in a simple smile. Daisy Buchanan. Daisy herself is a substantial example of symbolism in The Great Gatsby. She represents main character Jay Gatsby's goal and focus for the majority of the film. However, later on, we as the audience discover that Gatsby's truest goal in life is his wealth and the perfect life of a gentleman. Daisy, along with the green light, Gatsby's number of enchanted objects diminished by 1. The green light vanished, and so did the sanity Gatsby held and the objective of having Daisy finally. As shown in Baz Luhrman's film adaptation, he uses effective film techniques to complete his representation of the green light and the importance of Daisy in Gatsby's life. Daisy comments within Luhrman's film that they hold on to the things that are beautiful before they are gone, therefore foreshadowing Gatsby on holding on to the green light and the idea of Daisy. By introducing Gatsby within the alluring green light, Luhrman has created an automatic connection that holds great significance to Gatsby. In Luhrman's The Great Gatsby, we are first introduced to Daisy Buchanan in a room described as full of light. White colors and flowing curtains lifting the girls up into the wind sets the scene. When we meet Daisy, the director focusing on her face and jewels, presenting her beauty and wealth. During the scene, Daisy's light and joyful emotions turn to focus and seriousness as Jordan Baker, another character featured in both novel and adaptation, mentions the mysterious Gatsby. This again, an excellent technique used by Luhrman, connects Gatsby with a strong symbolism effect in The Great Gatsby. Another specific symbol in The Great Gatsby is the shrillness of the telephone. Both Gatsby and Tom have the shrillness of the telephone, both resembling secrets that harm Daisy. Daisy is an idea to both of them. Daisy was right when she described her daughter's future, referring to herself as well. I hope she will be a fool, a beautiful little fool. That is the best thing a girl can be in this world. During Fitzgerald's novel, we meet the Buchanans as Nick visits them for tea. We first meet Tom Buchanan as a big burly man who seems to hold the arrogance of a wealthy man and the dissatisfaction of a wealthy man as well. Continuing in this chapter, Nick meets Daisy Buchanan for the first time in the year. The scene is open to a room described of light and breeze flowing throughout the room. From Fitzgerald's novel, the readers gain an image of the room for themselves. While readers' interpretation may differ, Fitzgerald has created this room with excellent language techniques, drawing in the readers. While Fitzgerald describes the breeze in the room seeming to pick up the girls and float them around the room, Luhrman's version is a little different. He presents to us as the audience the white room with curtains flowing around representing happiness, joy and ignorance. However, instead of Daisy and Jordan flying around the room with the wind, all we see are simple movements among the floating curtains, such as Daisy's hand and Jordan's laughter. Luhrman, while sticking to the original description of Fitzgerald's novel, has recreated the first meeting of Daisy and Jordan with Nick Carraway. This setting includes curtains and breezes representing happiness, joy, and ignorance of the worst things to worry about, and is continued in Luhrmann's film Adaptation as he uses repetition techniques to lure in the watchful audience to understand the hidden messages behind every detail in the film. In the scene where Daisy and Nick go to the garden to talk, the windows again repeating the previous scene, but there is no flowing of the curtains because the good is gone. The somber conversation by Nick and Daisy holds no carelessness or freedom, no happiness or joy. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice. Whenever you feel like criticizing people, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the same advantages as you. This powerful opening line in Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby is reapplied in Baz Luhrmann's film adaptation. Nick Carraway's character is revealed greatly in this quote. Nick is a closed person or a very reserving person from his time in the war. When Gatsby becomes a part of Nick's life, this changes, completely changing Nick's perspective. The Valley of Ashes and the Eyes of God are important symbols both in the original novel and the film adaptation. Baz Luhrmann effectively represents the mysterious and godly description originated from Fitzgerald's novel into his own film adaptation with captivating colours and camera positioning. He represents the billboard holding the eyes of Dr. T.J. Ecclesburg, the eyes of God, watching over the Valley of Ashes, a desolate place of grime and dirt between the city and West Egg. Within and without. Character Nick Carraway states this as he is both within the scene unfolding before him, the chaotic and messy atmosphere of Tom and his mistress and her city friends, and without, standing on the street as a simple observer, which was his main role throughout The Great Gatsby. Fitzgerald introduced this as a clever use of time and setting. He was within the event yet watching himself on the outside, available to do something yet trapped inside. Baz Luhrmann effectively uses this in his film adaptation. Kaleidoscopic carnival is a term used in both texts and probably one of Baz Luhrmann's most commendable scenes in his film adaptation. At Gatsby's parties there is alcohol, dancing, people, colours, wild activities, celebrities, disorganization, and beautiful chaos. Baz Luhrmann has astounded viewers with his recreation of Fitzgerald's imagery of Gatsby's parties. With modern music backing up the effectiveness of the scene, there is an excellent setting complementing the story of Gatsby. His use of actors and colours and atmosphere in the scene is amazingly accurate while keeping to the original text. As complemented in The Great Gatsby is a comparative study of F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel The Great Gatsby and the film adaptations of 1974 and 2013 PDF written by Oscar Clevin. Luhrmann gives the audience a blinding display of tinsel and colourful clothes. In conclusion, I do believe that Baz Luhrmann has successfully given Fitzgerald's novel The Great Gatsby sufficient justice. Through his inventive recreations of characters, settings, and symbolism, his use of effective film techniques, and creative reformation of the original text. Thank you for watching. This has been The Great Gatsby Adaptation.